What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we've got some reactions and reviews coming from the screening or premiere of a recent movie or show, and this one being Agatha All Along. And I will be honest, we did do trailer reactions for this series, and the marketing hasn't really helped my excitement with it. I'll obviously be watching since it's part of the MCU, and it is a spin-off of Wandavision, which I really enjoyed, and I do love Kathryn Hahn. But I just feel like the marketing didn't help it a ton. But we're going to see what people think now that we got to see some of the episodes. But obviously, if you guys are new to the channel and you like this type of content, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe, click that bell that we're notified, because we upload this type of content weekly. And yeah, we are your kind of weekly source of this movie news, trailer reactions, a bunch of stuff, all that jazz. If you like that, those three would help. It would be greatly appreciated, and it's all free. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these first reactions for Agatha All Along. The first one we have comes from 𝙀𝙀 saying, "I've seen 4 episodes of Agatha All Along. It's fresh, creepy, and so much fun. The cast is having a blast, and their excitement is infectious. The show has mystery, adventure, and delicious intrigue. Give Jac Schaeffer the keys to her own corner of the MCU." Now, this is another thing that I want to bring up before we start reading the rest of these reviews, because I will and want to acknowledge Jac Schaeffer. Obviously, she show-ran Wandavision, which was a real, kind of swing for the MCU at the time. Their first time dipping their toes into television, it being this kind of sitcom going through different eras, but also this deep exploration of Wanda's past and the trauma that, they had to unpack. All of that, she was the showrunner. She, had her hands in that show, and that was her first foot in the door into the MCU, and it seems like people want more of that, because apparently, and rightfully so, especially from at least what the trailers have shown, it does seem like she has a certain fun, a certain quality that she has in her projects that obviously 𝙀𝙀 seemed to really like. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We got tons of these, so we're gonna get through these. But the next one we have comes from Justin Lawrence saying, "After 4 episodes of Agatha All Along, it's clear this WandaVision spinoff keeps the mystery alive, casting a new bewitching spell. Kathryn Hahn is perfection, embracing every wicked moment. The musical elements don't just enhance, they enchant. This is the magic the MCU needs." Jeez, that was filled with so many puns, but it was another positive reaction. We love to hear that. This next one we have comes from Metalcore Nerds saying, "I've seen the first 4 episodes of Agatha All Along, and it truly is the spiritual sequel to WandaVision while picking up the pieces left by Multiverse of Madness. A fun, spooky, and mysterious quest for power, and the perfect series for spooky season. Can't wait for more." Very interested to see what they mean by picking up the pieces left by Multiverse of Madness. Was not really trying to see, or at least even looking at this series as something that would connect to Multiverse of Madness, but now that has really intrigued me. The next one we have, though, comes from Louise saying, "Agatha All Along is devilish good. Had the chance to see the first 3 episodes and I was hooked from the first minute. Fun plot, amazing cast. It serves as a spiritual sequel to WandaVision while still managing to pave its own road in the MCU." Now, this one is a lot more detailed, a lot more lengthy, so get ready. This one comes from the people over at the Hollywood Handle. Go ahead and give them a follow. They do great stuff over there. But they said, "Agatha All Along starts slowly with the first 2 episodes, similar to WandaVision start, but once the witches begin their journey on the witches' road, it begins to kick off. It might not be as twisted as the marketing makes it out to be, but it's still creepy and eerie, with not only its visuals but the wicked performances that are provided by both Kathryn Hahn and Aubrey Plaza, who when on screen outperform the rest. The set design is amazing and adds to the effect of the show, with practical effects to help match it. Christoph Beck returns from WandaVision as the composer and helps bring the Witch's Road to life with his horrific score. While the first 2 episodes might not be enough to get people hooked, the 3rd episode will for sure have people wanting more from Agatha and her coven. Love to hear that. Seems extremely positive and just the type of show that kind of rewards you for your investment, being more attached to the show, even if it may not have you immediately hooked on it. And, I see that as a positive. But this next one that we have comes from Jenna Anderson saying, Agatha all along is a delight. The first 4 episodes are kooky, legitimately funny, and surprising on a comics/MCU level. Dynamite performances across the board. I can't wait to see more. Unsurprisingly, the show works best when the entire coven is together. This is something that I was kind of worried about seeing the trailers, was the possibility of them probably not having chemistry. That could have been the downfall and make or break of the show, and luckily it seems to be the former. It seems to be the highlight, and I really love to hear that. This next one we have, though, comes from Rachel Leishman saying, must be the season of the witch, baby. Agatha all along is the perfect continuation of Westview and everything my witchy soul needed. A perfect blend of Marvel lore for the witchy season, and I cannot wait to see the rest of the series. I too want to go down the witch's road. That was extremely positive as well. All these so far are really positive. Love to see that, especially as someone who was, kind of hesitant on this show. But, I obviously will always be optimistic and form my own opinion. But I do feel like the marketing could have been a little bit better and could have done more for the show and to push it more for audiences to be more intrigued, or at least, look forward to it a little bit more. But this next one that we have comes from Big Screen Leaks saying, Agatha all along is a devilishly good time. It's the perfect way to start spooky season with its dark tone, eerie story, and fun ensemble. It's the perfect successor to WandaVision in every single way, with Kathryn Hahn, Joe Locke, and Aubrey Plaza being forces of nature on screen. I'm genuinely surprised at how much I enjoyed this one. Kevin Feige signing Jack Schaefer to an overall deal with Marvel might be one of his smartest moves post-Endgame, and Agatha all along showcases why. Absolutely love to hear that. Another one saying it's a great successor to WandaVision, which is what we all want to hear, especially with, WandaVision was such an iconic kind of place to be at, and point in time to be at as well. Just the event television every week, and just what it was building up to. It was the first Marvel show. Like, everything about it was exciting, and to hear that, it does a pretty great job at picking up from it is great to hear. But we got this one coming from Michael Patterson saying, Agatha all along is absolutely batshit crazy in all the right kinds of ways. Kathryn Hahn is a force, camping it up as Agatha Harkness like we all knew she would. The rest of the cast is also divine, and Joe Locke is a gem. Vivid, outlandish, and brilliant. Wow, so great to hear all these positive reviews. We're gonna cover a few more and then end off the video, but the next 3 we have comes from the people over at the Movie Podcast. Great channel, great place. If you guys like watching interviews and just more deep dive stuff, go over and show them some love. But this one comes from Anthony saying, Agatha all along is wickedly fun, a witchy spin-off that casts its own spell. Kathryn Hahn is delightfully mischievous, Joe Locke is a blast to watch, and the Coven's chemistry will leave you bewitched. A perfect Marvel series for the Halloween season, bound to leave you hexed. So many puns. Love to hear it. This next one, Daniel Baptista over at the Movie Podcast saying, Agatha all along is the perfect show for the spooky season and filled with big witch energy. Kathryn Hahn is iconic as ever and delivers a deliciously devious and spellbinding performance. Joe Locke is a scene stealer. This is the most fun you'll have feasting on a show this year. Those are big words, but I'm loving everyone praising Kathryn Hahn. Love her, and I'm so glad that she's getting her flowers. This next one we have comes from Shabazz over at the Movie Podcast saying, Agatha all along will leave you spellbound. The first 4 episodes bring scares, laughs, pop culture references, and some of the best music in the MCU history. Kathryn Hahn cackles her way through with her coven of witches, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. It's the perfect fall show. Wow, another one really explaining kind of how it's able to really unwrap this whole coven and how fun that is, but also really giving Kathryn Hahn praise, which we all love to hear. We're going to cover a couple more, but this one comes from a David Opie saying, Agatha all along is a bit slow to start with, but you won't care because you're having so much fun with the cast and vibes that are just as camp and spooky as you'd hope for. This show really is for the gays. If anything, Marvel actually downplayed how gay it is in tone and feel. Interesting to hear that. We do have some characters, like apparently Billy Kaplan is in here, and if you know about him, you know, and hopefully we'll see how this ends up. Maybe Speed and Wiccan by the end of the show will be introduced in the MCU or something like that. But we're going to cover one more. This one comes from Michael Lee saying, the first 4 episodes of Agatha All Along strikes a balance between having fun, doing its own thing, and using witchcraft and the occult as a vehicle to haunt. The needle drops are fitting, and the original songs are perfect for a Halloween playlist. Can't wait to see the rest of it, and I can't wait for one to see it. You guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think about these reactions? What do you guys think about the Agatha trailer, and will you be watching this? How excited are you? Anything related to all this news, even what you thought of WandaVision, literally anything. I love discussing with you guys down there. It makes my day. And also what would is if you really hit that like button, subscribe, and click that bell, especially if you made it this far. It's free, and it would be greatly appreciated. But obviously we post these pretty much whenever we can, but yeah, if you like this type of content, doing that would be greatly appreciated. But other than that, it has been 𝙎𝙬𝙚, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one.